Welcome you back to another tutorial. I want to show you how to get your neckline out. So as you can see, I have a video on how to get your princess stats, how to draft it with ease, and also have a video on how to pad. So go ahead to watch anyone which you choose, which you are left out with. So I want to show you now how to get the neckline, which you can see on the thumbnail. That is what I want to do here. How to pad, you need your ball. I have a video on how to make your ball. So go ahead to watch that video on how to make your ball. So you will have one for yourself and make your work easier for you to do. So what I'm going to do for the picture you can see on the thumbnail there is to get my shoulder measurement first. And my shoulder measurement is 15 divided by 2, give me 7.5. So I'll go ahead to get my 7.5 just like this. Then our standard measurement for armhole is 9, but I'm going to use that 9, but after sewing I will still draft out my armhole to go to the perfect line which is supposed to be. So I'm just using this as a guideline to get what I want for now. So this is my 9 which I have here. After getting your armhole measurement, after getting how to get your armhole measurement, I have a video on how to go about that. So go ahead and do just that. So after getting my armhole depth, what I'm going to do now is to divide my bust circumference divided by 4. You can see my fabric, my front now is on fold. So I'm going to divide it by 4 because I have 2 here and I have 2 at the back. So my bust is 43 divided by 4 will give me 10.75. So I have my 10.75 right here like this, 10.75 plus 2 inches. 2 inches for sewing allowance. Then at my waistline, my waist is 38.5. 38.5 divided by 4 will give me 9.65. So I have my 9.65 here. 9.65 right here. That's what I have here. Make sure you straighten this part like this. 9.65. Then this remaining part is my 2 inches for sewing allowance. 2 inches for sewing allowance. So what I'm going to do now is to connect. It is always like this. That's why you need to take your measurements after. Why I'm doing this calculation it is because I did not do my calculation when cutting. So this my calculation now is after I have sewn it. That's when I'm putting my calculation. If I had done the calculation before cutting or after taking my measurements on my paper, because I have a video on how to do that. If it was to be that video, I will not shaping anything like this. I just go ahead to take my armhole, but because I did not do that, so I'm going to place, because I just go ahead to mark out my bust without taking my body measurement. So after that, after sewing it, I come again to take out my allowance. Hope you understand what I'm trying to do. So after that, what I'm going to do now is to connect just like this. So just come in by 1 inch from this side. This is not constant because this is not our perfect armhole. I'm still going to draft our armhole after everything if it is for full shoulder. What I'm making here now is an off shoulder. So just watch what I'm going to do now. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So after that, make sure you take the depth of your clients when you take your measurement for this cloth. Make sure you take the depth of your client. So what I have here in total depth of my client is 9. That is what I got from her measurement. It's 9. So this is my 9 right here. My 9, I believe this 9, this 9, this 9, this, I'm saying this 9 like this 9 is too deep. So I'm going to make it 8.5. You don't just go according to your measurement, you also look at your fabric, because there are some people that want it lower, because something will still enter here for about 2 inches. Okay, let me make it, I want to make it a 9. I make it a 9 because there is an attachment that comes up, about 2 inches attachment. So this attachment comes up like this, it will be 6.5. So okay, this 9 is okay for this. So after getting my 9 just like that, then from this my armhole area, I come down by 4. Hope you see what I'm doing there. I come down by 4 because there's something is still going to attach 2 inches of this part to make it up. So going to make it 4 or 3.5 because of sewing allowance. Now everything I'm taking here is plus the sewing allowance. So after I'm making it 3.5, that's what I have, 3.5 by 9. What I'm going to do now is to get your curve towards this your line, just like this. So if you look closely to the picture there, it is like a V shape, because this is how they went ahead to do it, like a V shape form. And you connect your armhole like this. I told you, from after getting your bust measurement, you can come in by 1 inch, connect to your shoulder measurement. Then this one now I came down by 9. It depends on the depth of what you are making for. Make sure when you are taking the neck, the depth of the neck, you are including that 2 inches to get your neck depth. You are including the 2 inches to get your neck depth. Because if you went ahead to minus the 2 inches and make it 7, after you include that your 2 inch extra at the up, it will come too up. It will come up too much. So for that not to happen, this part should come down, because something is still going to extend to cover the space that is left here. So that is it. I hope I made myself clear. So after you have done that, you can see here I told you can come down by that 4. It is still okay, because something is still going to come up. It is not wrong with that 4, but I just want to add an allowance there. I might still trim it after opening if I see that that place is not down to the level which you want, because make sure you always work with your picture when doing any work at all. Make sure you always work with your style so you don't get confused. I'm not telling you that I'm confused. I'm just letting you know so you don't get confused. So you should always work with your style. So that is the style which I'm working with. So you can see what I'm doing here. There's something I want to show you. Let me cut this off. So I'll see if you. There's still another style again that let me see if I'll be able to show you through here, because I don't know when I will drop that video. So you should have a clue on how, if you have something like that, you should have a clue on how to do yours. So you know there are some style that it is the shoulder is being extended, like the off is being extended. It might come down like this, then make here like this for your sleeve. I don't know if you will understand what I'm trying to say here. But there are some dresses that it extends like this. That one does not come down because there's no attachment at the top. So what you do for that now, because your shoulder together, that's what I'm trying to say, your shoulder together, your off shoulder together, that is what I'm trying to say. So I have this up to 2. Okay, so from your shoulder depth now is 2. It depends on how slopey you want it to be. You can still make it 3. It depends on how slopey you want it to be. So once you make it like this, let me say make it 3 like this. Then from this point now, you can decide how many you want to make the depth of your armhole. Then bring it like this. So what I have here is 2.5. Bring it like this. Make sure anything you are doing here, you are including your sewing allowance, because you are still going to sew ½ inch away from this part in. Still going to sew ½ inch away from this part in. Then you connect to your armhole. I would love to show you a full video on how to go about this. Get your armhole. Like I told you, I'm still going to trim this armhole. So if you are doing something like this, it depends on your client. If she does not have big hand, it depends on the person you are working with. So you take your circumference for your bicep measurement for your hand. Then this might still come down. After everything, you can still decide to bring this down just like this. Just like this. So you can see the armhole area here. After sewing your allowance, you can see what is left with. I just want to show you I am done with what I'm doing, oh, but I just want to show you something for you to have a clue of what I'm trying to do. If you think I should enlighten you more on this, just go ahead to comment. I did not plan for this, but I just say I should show you how to do something. Please pardon me for wasting your time. I'm sorry for this. Somebody might need this. I don't know. But I just feel like somebody might need this before I drop this. So I just want to see if I will be able to be of a help to somebody. Using one stone to kill two birds. That's what I'm trying to do. Somebody might need this. So you can see what I have here. So you can really see what I have here. So remember I told you it will not go down as this, because this one I'm still going to extend it with something at the top. If you take a look at our picture which we have there, so this is the armhole. Then here your sewing allowance. Here is your sewing allowance. You go ahead to take your make sure when doing this you take your round shoulder measurement. When doing this, take a round shoulder measurement like this plus ½ inch before cutting. Sometimes when cutting your paper or fold, you add an extra allowance, so this will be able to extend, so you'll be able to get what you want before you trim off. So make sure you have your round shoulder measurements before doing this. Don't just go ahead to do it like this. Make sure you have excess of this, because what I'm even seeing here, this will not be enough for the style. But I'm just giving you a clue on how to go. So make sure your fabric is over. So when you get your basic measurements like this, you go ahead to get your measurement for your shoulder like this. You cut out your armhole, because every shoulder measurement depends on the size of the person. I've said too much. Let me just show you something before I go straight to what I'm doing. So this is it, just like this. So you can see what I'm saying. I have said enough. I'm sorry. I apologize for wasting your time. But somebody might need this. I am not here for myself, but I'm here for that person that might need this. I'm here for you. That's why you see me dropping videos to assist. So you can see what I'm trying to say. Shoulder together. It wasn't cut and attached. So this aside, this is what we have now for what we are working with. So this is what we have. So this is okay. This is okay. So let me go ahead to cut my back. Very simple. You can see in that video which I showed you on how to draft your princess, that I also show you on how to cut your back. The back is the easiest thing so far. Very easy. Just eat it like moi moi. If you don't know moi moi, and I don't know another language to say, but it's like moi moi. You know how moi moi is. Moi moi is very easy to make. Although I don't know how to make it, but I know it is very easy to make. So just like this, just like this. So make sure this your down part is straight, and there is something, your side is not always straight. Your side should come up of a bit, about 1 inch. But even if you do not take this 1 inch, there are some of my things I do, I don't take out this 1 inch. I leave it like that. It still works out, but I'm just letting you know. But if you take this in, it comes out better. So I'm just telling you that there are some videos that did not take. So if you did not take for yours, don't feel like you have been, but this really goes well when you make it like this. So back to the work. So what you are going to do, you are going to make your back and your front equal, so you are able to get the shape. You can see this is my zip allowance which I have here. It's supposed to be 2 inches. This is my 2 inches here, so I'll bring it back to complete my 2 inches for my zip allowance. Make sure you always have your zip allowance. Don't bother about this part. If you spread this now, it will enter when coupling everything. Yes, I have a video on how to couple also. It's still on how to go about that after you've gotten your zip line. So what I'm doing now is to draw out exactly the same shape to my back. I'm adding the same shape to my back, just like this. I love coming out. I really miss you guys. I really miss you guys. I hope you miss me too. I hope you miss me too. Don't say you don't miss me before I get angry, please. So I have done that. As you can see, this is the back. This is my zipper allowance, which I have here. This is exactly the same way as the front. So you can see it will be like this, the same way as the front. So you can see my front. So what I'm going to do now is to go ahead to cut out my lining. So what I'm going to do now is to cut out my lining just like this. I'm trying to make the calculation easy and simple for you to understand. So I'll go ahead to cut out my lining exactly the same shape. Don't do any otherwise. Make sure you cut your lining exactly the same shape so you don't run into mistakes. Just like this. So hope you can see what I'm trying to do here. Exactly the same shape as your main body. That is what you can see. What I just did now, I put my hands, you can see my hand now, feeling the under bust, feeling my bust, so I can get an accuracy of this, so it does not go like this, and you see my hand is upper. So when I put it here, I make sure it corresponds with this. So there are sometimes you will see me doing this and you might not know that that also means something. So I'm coming back to tell you that anytime you see me putting hand inside there, you should know that I'm trying to get something. You guys are the best, are the best so far. You guys are the best so far. You guys are the best. I really love you guys. To be sincere, I love you guys and I miss you guys. Anytime I won't post any video, I always think of you because I am humble. Because there is one lady, I forgot her name. I will put it on the screen. That lady was able to trace me down to my Instagram account, and she said something to me that blows up my mind. To be sincere, she corrected me in some areas that I went. I really appreciate her. I really appreciate her effort. I don't really know how to express. I really appreciate her for her to be that courageous to look for me, like try to see a way to tell me. I really appreciate that. May God bless you. May God bless you for those corrections. I really appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. Please, if you are seeing this video and you know you are the one I'm talking to, please just comment and just God will bless you in a millionfold. God will bless you in 1,000-fold. Nobody knows it all. Nobody knows it all. I'm just here to correct you on things you don't know that I know. The ones I have been doing that is working for me. I'm just here to show you, for you to also do it, and it will work for you the same way and even better than mine. That is my prayer for you. My prayer is that you know better than me. That is my prayer for you. That is the prayer for every teacher. It's for their students to know better than them. So you can see what I'm doing, placing my front on my back lining to cut out exactly the same shape. Make sure it is exactly the same shape. Exactly. I'm using my time to explain this, to tell you this, that you need to make it exactly so you don't go ahead to do something confusing. So make sure it is exactly the same shape, so you don't get a different thing when sewing. You don't, because if your lining is short for this part, you can see I'm sweating. If your lining is short on this part, run short of fabric and it will disturb your work. So you can see this is my lining, you can see how it is standing. Also, I made it half. Oh, don't worry, there's something I wanted to say, I'm not saying it. Or should I say it? Don't worry, I'm looking for a way to make the corset easier for you to understand. That is what I wanted to say. Corset breast tube. I really want to show you guys. I'm looking for a formula that will make you understand it easier, because there are some people that are still finding it difficult to understand. I'm looking for a way. I pray that my way makes it. I pray that my own video should be the last one for you to watch and understand. If you have been finding any difficulty, I believe my own will be able to make you understand the rest people through my own. You will be able to understand how the rest people did theirs. Everybody has been great dropping their own corset breast. They have been great. So you can see what I have here. You have said too much. I don't know, I like talking anytime I want to show you guys something. I don't know how to talk like this, so I beg. Sorry for wasting your time. Okay, back to it. So this is it. So what I'm going to do now, I will cut my lining. What am I saying? I will cut my fabric, the one I'm going to put at this up, to show you on how to do that. So let me go ahead, because I'm going to sew my fabric first on this before I use my lining to turn my fabric. So it is should I say complicated? Somehow complicated, because you need to be calculative when doing that. So let me go ahead to show you on how to do that. Welcome to the attachment of the up. So as I told you, you take your round shoulder measurement. And how you take your round shoulder measurement, what I have for my round shoulder measurement is 48. So my 48 divided by 2 will give me 24. So how to measure your round shoulder? When you take it round her shoulder, you are going to bring this down. When it is round the shoulder, you are going to bring this down like this, and make sure the back is also down, because if you take it straight like this, you will get short of fabric, because here comes down, and the coming down of this place also took in some measurement of your tape. So I'm supposed to have 44. So if I'm 44 now divided by 2, sorry, 24 plus 24 give me 48. 24 divided by 2 will give me 12. So 12 plus half inch for sewing allowance at this side to attach the front and the back, half inch. We're going to add half inch here and half inch at this other side. So 12 plus this half inch, I'm going to start my measurements here. So just like this. So you can see what I have here. So what is left for you here, that is what you are going to use. You are supposed to have 4 inches for the attachment of your side. So you're supposed to make it 4 inches. So what do we have here? So 48 divided by 2, which is 24. So 22 divided by 2, 24 is 24 right here, divided by 2, or let me say 25 divided by 2 plus the 1 inch for the both side, joining on both sides, right? Give me 12.5, as I told you earlier, for you to understand better. So that's what I have here. So you can also trim here off. So this will hook your client at the shoulder there. So you're going to take hair off. So this is the 4 inches, just like this. It's going to be like this, 4 inches like this. But this is part of the armhole. You know, this was for full shoulder, which came like this was for full shoulder. But this is an off shoulder. If you make it a full shoulder, it's when this is going to this other side, here will bulge, and it will disturb the armhole to enter. So you're going to take it at this 4. You can still make it 4.5, but this 4 is okay, because this your half inch is the one you are going to, when you join there, this your half inch is going to cover here. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. You can still make it 4.5. Still going to, you can still make it 4.5, but when you are joining your sleeve, that half inch here is going to take that sleeve part for the joining. So that is it. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to make this adjustment for both sides, and I'm still going to make it for the back and the lining also. So let me go ahead to do that. So I have done for the front. You can see me placing my front on the back to do, so you know that I adjust it as I told you. So don't forget this part when doing yours. Okay, so how to get your attachment at the top. So this is my fabric here. I'm going to fold it on bias. You can see what I have here, the straight part of my fabric. So I'm going to place it like this. You can see it has a triangular shape. So this is how I'm going to fold it. And what I'm going to get is, let me come back for you to understand. So my round shoulder measurement is 48. 48 divided by 2 give you 24. 24 plus 1 inch for the sewing allowance, which is 0.5 at the side, 0.5 at the other side, making it 1 inch. So 24 plus 1 give you 25. So you are going to get 25 unfold as it is like this, your bias. So I'm going to locate my 25. So let me adjust it until it gets to 25, then I'll come back to you. Okay, so you can see what I have here now. So all I'm going to do at this part is to rule a straight line as a guide, because I told you the extension which I'm going to attach at the up will be 2 inches. So 2 inches plus 0.5 for sewing allowance will give me 2.5. So here is my 2.5. I come to this midpoint and get my 2.5. Come to this end and get my 2.5. And I'm going to connect all of them together to form a straight line. Make sure it is straight when doing it. Get my straight line. So after I've gotten my lines as I want, what I'm going to do now is to get my 25. So here is my 25, which I have here now. So what I have here is my 25 for the front. So after getting the 25, what I'm going to do now is to cut it out. Let me go ahead to cut out without wasting much of it. So you can see this is out for the front. So you're going to indicate that this is your wrong part of your fabric. So I'll go ahead to spread my fabric on the bias fold again to get my back. Let me do that. So my back, you know, our front was 24 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance, making it 25. So let's say our back is 25 plus 4 inch for our sewing allowance, making it 29. 25 plus 4 inches for the zip allowance. You know, the zip allowance at the back, I kept 2 inches. From here to here is 2 inches for the back for sewing allowance. And you know it is going to come like this. So you are still going to include these 2 inches for our lining. So what I have here now, I have up to 30, 31 here. Let me cross check what I have here for you to know what I want to do now. So I have about 32 here to 34. So what I'm going to do now is to place this unfold again. So you can see what I'm doing here. Place it on fold again, because I want to make this easy for you to understand. So when placing this, make sure this part, let me bring it very close for you to understand what I'm trying to do. So you can see this end of my triangular shape here and this end. Make sure they are meeting so you don't get confused when doing this. So let's come back again. Our front was 25. So let's say our back is 25 in total, plus 2 inches for the zipper allowance. So since it is on fold, we are only going to plus 2 inches. So 25, so that 25 now is for the full back. So I want to divide it into 2. So let me say this is the 25 for the full back divided by 2. You give me 12.5. So it will give me 12.5. So this is our 12.5. I want to make this very easy for you to understand. So this is our 12.5, which I have here, 12.5, which I have here, 12.5 plus 2 inches for zipper allowance. You know, anything I do here affects the back because it's 2 piece. It's going to have a slit here for the zip allowance. So this plus 2 inches for the zip allowance. Also have plus 2 inch at the down part there. I hope you understand what I'm trying to do. So once I have this plus 2 inches there, so what I'm going to do now is to rule my straight line. Very important. Rule my straight line just like this. So after I have done this, what I'm going to do now is to mark out my 2.5 as I did for the front. So 2.5 here, 2.5, 2.5. They connect together. So I'm cross-checking what I have again, plus 2, okay. So go ahead to cut it just like this. Make sure it is equal. Make sure it is equal, so you don't have one shorter than the other. Because everything is supposed to rhyme and meet in place. Okay, so you can see what I have here for my back. So I'm going to split this. So it is going to be like this. It is going to be like this. So you know this our parts now. We are going to join this back. This our back. We are going to join it to the lining. Then we are going to sew. Later we are going to sew 1/2 inch here. So what you are going to do for this your back, make sure you mark to know your wrong side of your fabric. So what you are going to do now is to stitch the same 1/2 inch here close and the same 1/2 inch here close. Then turn it over. Then turn it over. We are going to place this on the fabric and sew separately with the lining. Hope you understand what I'm trying to do. We are going to after sewing that, you will shift your 1/2 inch that you have already sewn away from this part, so you will be able to place this on. After you have done that, you shift it away from this half because you are already taking your own 1/2 in. Then you are going to sew your 1/2 inch from here downward. Before you do that, you have already sewn this one in place just like this, so that you can be able to turn your lining like this. So let me go ahead to do that without confusing you, because I'm still going to go there. Don't want to waste much of your time. Let me go ahead to fold this in, then turn it out, then sew it on this lining. I will do the same for the front on this my main fabric, and I'll come back to show you what I got after everything. So let me go ahead to do that. Okay, so when doing this, make sure you are using from your midpoint. After folding this, to make sure your midpoint is sitting at your midline for the bodies. So you can see how I did this. As I told you, I've done this and this other one also. So what I'm going to do now is to sew this in, because I don't want it to show outside to be rough. But if you want to make yours, you can still do it like that, but I prefer making it to be inside. So what I'm going to do now, this midpoint also, this my midpoint is going to start from here. It's going to sit at this point. So you can as well sew it from here, because I use the front to cut out the main fabric to cut out the lining. So you can sew like this. So what I'm going to do now is to sew this attached to the main body, to put this my rough edge inside. So that's the same thing I'm going to do for this other one also, for the back side. So the back side, I'm also going to sew it like this, just for you to know what I'm trying to say. I'm going to sew it like this. Then I'm going to sew here close this side. I don't want it to be an inner sewing, so she can be able to give anybody to do amendment for her in case she add or reduce. So I'm also going to do this after sewing there. I'm going to close this side. So let me go ahead to do that without wasting much time. Okay, yeah, so you can see I have gone ahead to put my back and I have ironed. You can see how it is looking very neat. So I have gone ahead to iron it, iron the back also, put them on fold. So I want to get my zipper allowance before I continue my journey. So what I'm going to do now is to mark out my zipper allowance before I sew it close. If you have been following me, this is how I normally do mine. If you are new to the channel, you are welcome. If you are old, I appreciate you a lot. I appreciate both you, the newcomers. You are not left out as well. I appreciate you, and I know that you are going to subscribe. So please click the subscribe button down below and subscribe to this channel because I have a lot coming. You don't want to miss any of them. So you can see what I'm trying to do now to get my zipper allowance at the back. So just like this, I'm going to take it straight down, just like this. Just like what you can see now, this is what I just did. So this is my zipper allowance. I'm going to sew it down and press it iron. So let me go ahead to do that quickly. I have sewn my back, my zipper allowance, and I have ironed it as well. So what I'm going to do now is to place this in my front on my back, just like this. So I'm going to place it like this and pin down. Okay, so I want to get my bust measurement. I have gone ahead to pin it down. So my bust measurement is 38. Sorry, my bust is 43 divided by 2 give me 43 divided by 2 give me 21. 43 divided by 2 give me 21. 21.5, sorry, 43. 40, 41, 42, 43, 21.5. So 21.5, which I have here. So what do I have left from my 25 to this down? I have 3.5 divided by 2 give me 2.2. Place 2.2 here. Place 2.2 here. 1.7. Let's say 2.2. 1.7 because 3.5, so 1.7, 1.7 at both sides makes equals to 3.5. So my waist now is 38 divided by 2 will give me 9.2. So I have my 19.2, 19.2, which I have here. What is left here is 3 inches. So apply 1.5 here and 1.5 at this other part. Come over to this part again, 19.2 for the half cut line, 19.2. What is left here? 3 inches, 1.5 at this part. We connect it just like this. 1.5 at this part, 1.5 at this part here. Connect just like this. I hope you I hope you understand what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to do so. I'm going to sew it down. So as you can see, I have sewn my side and I went ahead to iron it open. So this is my shoulder part now. After doing all of that, what I'm going to do this is my shoulder part now. This is my upper part here. I'm going to come in by 0.5. I'm going to come in by 0.5 at this upper part here. 0.5. Then I'm going to connect it down to this end here. So 0.5, just slant it to this end. Don't take 0.5 at this part. Don't do that. So just slant like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Just slant 0.5 to the end like this. Just like that. Then you can do the same thing at this other part also. You can as well place this one here, just like this. So you can see, so after doing this, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to open this up like this. I'm going to open it up like this. Then I'm going to sew 0.5 from this point down to the other part. Then I'm going to notch it and iron it open. I'm going to notch it after sewing this for both sides. I'm going to notch it and iron it open. Let me go ahead to do the same thing for both sleeves. So you can see I have folded it in and I have ironed it. Let me show you what I did. You can see I folded it open, I ironed it open, and I made a notch, then close it back, then ironed it. So you can see what we have here right now. So this is what I have here. So I don't want to waste much of your time, so I will say this is a close for today. I'm going to post a different video on how to get your sleeve. So just keep watching in case you have not subscribe to the channel to see on how to fix your sleeve. So thank you everyone, stay safe and remain blessed.